over the the viewer questions for the my last rant of the week, which was the ask me a bunch of questions. So let's get right started. Ant Booth says, all G1 questions, but favorite character. If it's a single character, I have to go with Galvatron. Hated character, Wheelie. Favorite combiner, Predaking. Hated combiner. Of the G1 cartoon, there's not really one I would say I hate. But the one I would say I dislike would be Defensor, just because of the fact that it's like, was he really in? No. Correction. Computron. Fucking worthless fucking combiner. And he just sits there, oh, he will calculate this. You know, and he just stands there thinking, while Abominus is beating the shit out of him. Okay. Sammy Turnage says, hey John, I got 3 questions for you. 1, are you planning on getting MP Optimus Primal? Yes. That's shouldn't even be a question there. 2, do you think we'll get more Beast Wars MP? I think it would have to depend on how well the Primal sells. If it sells like the first edition of MP10, I think, yeah, we'll definitely get that, and also we'll start getting third-party ones. 3, which Beast Wars MP would you like to see? Personally, I would love to see a Rampage or an Inferno. But that aside, pretty much any of them. I would love to have a MP Beast Wars Megatron, both original and Transmetal, and I would also, and we gotta have a Transmetal Megatron. I mean, come on, they're a Masterpiece Megatron. They're doing a Masterpiece Primal, so yeah, they have to do the Megatron, and especially since there's no licensing required to go find and get, and all those loopholes that they had to jump through with the gun, it would just make sense. For me, it would be Optimus Primal, Megatron, Dinobot, Silverbolt, Tarantulas, Scorponok. For the first year, it would be great if Beast Wars MP would get another MP line, and then it could alternate G1 MP and Beast Wars MP. But that's wishful thinking. Yeah, that is. Unless that Primal just sells like crazy, which it could. Although I did hear they're supposed to be to ramp up the MP production on MPs next year, it would be nice to get Transmetal MPs also. I miss Beast Wars and hope MP Optimus Primal does well. Me too. On all that. Dragon Superman says, can you tell me about how you started collecting the Transformers classics and what expectations you had for the line when it was starting out? I know we've got just about every character now, but it's gone in so many different directions. Well, I've always been a Transformers fan. So, and back when Classics was first starting, I didn't know that it was starting. I had read that there was going to be a Masterpiece Starscream, and I was super excited. And then one day walking through Walmart, I found the Classics Starscream, and I was like, oh my god! Yeah, it was instant purchase. It was a very, very great surprise to start getting those guys. And I quickly bought the first full wave. Like, you know, I kept saying, like, oh, I don't need that Optimus. And then it's like, I get the Optimus. Oh, I don't need the Jetfire. Oh, I don't need the Jetfire. Oh, I'll get the Jetfire. Oh, I really don't want the Megatron. I hate Megatron. It looks like a Nerf gun. And then I got the Megatron. Same with Bumblebee. No, Bumblebee hadn't been overplayed yet. So when I saw Bumblebee on the shelf, I was like, oh my god, Bumblebee. So yeah, it was, I didn't know about it. So when I saw it, I was just absolutely ecstatic. So yeah. Seeing Funny John has, 10 questions. Would the Japanese series Beast Wars 2 be cool in the style of the original Beast Wars in USA? I don't know. I've never watched the Japanese Beast Wars. I think the American Beast Wars was a good story. And the Japanese style is not my forte. I would say I have, some of their comedy is kind of beyond me. I'm not insulting it or anything. It's not what I'm familiar with. 2. Transformers 5. Return of Mudflap and Skips. Horrible or interesting? I like Mudflaps and Skids in the movie. I know a lot of people said that they were racist, which, I mean, they are. But at the same time, I did enjoy them, especially since they were the only two Autobots that stood against Devastator and actually fought him. So I thought that was pretty cool. And they're in Transformers 3. Real quick, there's a quick scene where you see him pulling in. But that's as far as that goes. So I don't know. Do you know the Muffin Man? I ate him. Did you know the thing you were like, meh? It was featured in the first Fantastic Four movie. Yes, I did. That's why I said meh. Because that movie is meh. I hear the new one is, but the first Fantastic Four movie was meh. And then the second Fantastic Four movie was like, maybe they can make something of this. And they didn't. 5. Why did Megatron had to go out? Sorry, phone's ringing. Let's see. Where was I? Why did Megatron have to go out like a wuss in Beast Machines? I don't think there was any other way to really have him end. Let's see. 6. Which hotel in Connecticut would you recommend? Have no data on what city. I don't know. I'm not in Connecticut, so I don't know. Without actually researching it, I don't know. If you go with Choice Hotels, Clarion is the top of the chain, and Ascend. So those are going to be really nice. And then Comfort Suites is up there pretty good too. So 7. Dinobot. Awesome if the guns and ammo comes with on release. Maybe even the axe. I think he's meaning if Dinobot got a MP. I think. I'm not sure. 8. Do you know what the Ultimate Moon Knight did? No. I don't read the Ultimate Comics very much. So 9. Can you at least give RD a small chance? 10 reasons why not. No. 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 It looks like shit. Nightwingdom 1. Would you ever do a series of videos on customizing toys? I kind of do. My repair bay, where I do the repairs. It's all eventually going to lead up to me doing a custom figure, but that might be a little while. Get Loose 360 says, with a lot of third-party companies moving towards MP-based figures, do you think third-party Chug offerings will eventually come to a close? No, I don't, because eventually people are going to start get oversaturated with the MPs, and then they're going to resurge into the Chug. Mostly at the moment it's because Combiner Wars is going on right now, and I think the bulk of the collectors are like, this is terrible. We're moving on to MPs. And then they move on to MPs, and eventually classics will come back, and everyone's going to be like, all right. I think one of the big hiccups is getting a good classic Seeker in a Voyager-ish scale. I think that's really holding a lot of people back. I know it's holding me back from going back there. But, yeah. Victor Van Huss. Sorry, I'm terrible with names. First, what is your favorite Bayformer movie? Age of Extinction, I'd have to say. No. Oh, fuck. Wow. Surprised I didn't get hit by lightning there. No, the Dark of the Moon. Second, what is your favorite figure? Um, if we go with Bayformer figures, I'd have to go with Leader Class Starscream. That was an awesome figure. Figure in general, I have no idea. There's so many great figures out there. Off the top of my head, I would say Unique Toys Mania King. Just because I love me some Galvatron. So, third, who'd win against Cyclops? Beast and Moon Knight? Who'd win against Cyclops? Beast and Moon Knight. If it's a three-way fight, it's Moon Knight. He's gonna kill them all. If it's Cyclops versus Beast, probably give it to Beast because he's a little bit more agile than Cyclops, and he's stronger. He's got a little bit better training because he was in the Avengers. If it was Cyclops versus Moon Knight, Moon Knight would probably just hit him with something. He's got darts, truncheons, staffs, all this stuff. And then last, how old are you? 31. I was born the same year Transformers first came out, so I'm a Transformer baby. Tulala, what is the worst thing that could happen to your figure? GPS, CPS, yellowing, unfixable joints, rusting, or just being all around fragile. MP, Megatron, and Apollyon. Well, if it's fragile, I will know to be gentle with it. If it's got gold plastic or clear plastic syndromes, there's not much you can do about it. It's gonna die. There's no way around it. It will die. So I would say that would be the worst. Rusting, I know how to clear rust. I know how to fix loose joints, even if it's unfixable. I know how to fix them. I've never had that situation come up. And yellowing, you can always clean yellowing off, or repaint or re-dye. Also, is your biggest pet peeve in figures? Personally, I hate parts forming. While I can forgive it sometimes, Voyager, Classics Prime, Star Saber, and most Headmasters. I really hate it when it feels lazy and unnecessary, like TFC's Silverbolt or a lot of G1 toys, specifically the G1 Seeker Mold. I forgive almost everything in G1 for parts forming because it just was. That's how it was. There are some parts forming things like this guy who's, he's got a parts form transforming. That's pretty lame. But biggest pet peeve in figures, I did a rant of the week, and I think it was clear plastic on joints, because that's just stupid. Alex Dalton I have multiple questions. One, what's your worst experience with scalpers? Energon Shock Blast, that got nasty. I lost some bids on eBay, and it was up to $80, and then eventually I found it for $15. So it did well, but it was just like, oh my god. Or MP Soundwave with all the cassettes. I mean, I never saw it in stores. It was gone so fast. It basically never showed up in stores, and then by the time it hit eBay, it was 2 or 3 times the asking price, and I'm like, nope, not going there. Have you ever met a scalper in real life? No, I don't think I have. I think my roommate tried to be a scalper, but it didn't work out so well for him, mostly because I stole them all. If any Transformer character could get a new figure, who should it be? I think a good representation of Beast Wars Dinobot would be awesome. Also, Galvatron. I know now we're getting an MP Galvatron from DX9, but I would love to see an official Galvatron or Fans Toys Galvatron. What's the most expensive official Transformer you've ever owned. I don't know. I guess it means. I guess the question would really be, which one have I spent the most on? That would probably be a G1 Predaking that I built from scratch, bit by bit. Because I didn't have the money to buy the whole set all at once. I had to buy one piece at a time. So that was pretty expensive. Now, worth-wise, probably the G1 Predaking too, because I was like, okay, I'm going die-cast, we're going all out. I was, I'd clear all the old stickers off, get the Reaper labels for them, redo all the stickers. Let's see here. All right, 5. What is your favorite combiner team? Predaking. Predacons. What is the best and worst figures you've ever owned? That would be a different story altogether. There's just too many. I mean, worst off the top of my head, I can think of Ollie, and best probably Fans Toys Scoria or MP10. All right. TFU Smokey 102. He says, first, my name is pronounced TFU Smokey 102. That's how I knew how to say it. And I do apologize. I know I would keep botching your name. I'm terrible with it. Here are my questions. 1. Do you like any other robot or cartoon shows you keep up with? Not really anymore. As far as cartoons, in the past, I loved Gargoyles, the Spider-Man, X-Men cartoons, Batman, even the Superman. Even though I don't like Superman, I always watch the show every morning. And of course, Transformers whenever it was on. But for Batman Beyond, but for the most part, all those shows are done, so I don't keep up with anything now because there's nothing on right now that's like, ooh, yeah, that sounds great. It's like a lot of the stuff that's on right now is just too influenced by SpongeBob, and I can't stand SpongeBob. Even like Teen Titans, the Teen Titans Go. It's like I think that was the last show I was really keeping up on that was not Transformer related, was the Teen Titans, and then they switched to Teen Titans Go, and I was like, nope, not even gonna give that a shot. How's the playlist of all the Rant of the Weeks going? Honestly, I forgot. It's been pretty crazy at work, so not this coming week, but the next week, I actually will have 2 days off and work normal, regular human hours, which would be 40 hours a week instead of the 60 to 80 that I've been doing. So I'll start working on that then. There's a lot of Rant of the Weeks, so it's going to take a while to compile them all. 3. When are you gonna finish reviewing the Unicron trilogy? Well, I have to buy the rest of the Unicron trilogy, and Armada wasn't as thrilling as I was hoping, so it might still be a little while because there's other more important things for me to buy at the moment. See, do you have any strange Transformer hunting stories? I don't know about strange. I've had those bad days where it's just like everything goes on. If you look at my older videos, my first toy hunt, my tire went flat, and it just like the whole night was just a wreck. It was bad. I've had days like that, many days like that, where it's just like, oh my god, this is just terrible. But strange would be like, just a couple years back, 2 or 3 years ago, I was just hunting around, and I went to a Rite Aid, and there was a Universe Galvatron still in package there, for original market price. And of course I bought it. I don't like that Galvatron, but I was just like, wow, this thing's like 6 years old, and I'm finding it mint in package in the store. Wow. So that was pretty weird. The Fluffy Hubs asked, I have 2 questions. One, which Dinobot combiner will you go for? Toy World or G Creations? Probably neither, because I'm switching more towards MP. So I'm probably going to go more Fans Toys than anything else. But if I were still in that classic scale, I would probably go with I'd probably go with both eventually, because Toy World is almost done now, and they've got 3 figures out now, two to go, and G Creations just released their 2nd figure, so they're going to be a long time down the road. They're the ones that I would say look the best, but I'm not going to sit here and say they are the best. It's just going to take so long to get done. Yeah. 2, do you have any true scary stories? If so, tell one of them. Okay. So, I read this question earlier, so I had a while to think about it. I tried not to read most of these questions. But this one, okay, so this is a true story. And a lot of people are going to sit there now. It's not a true story. But it's a true story, and it freaked the hell out of me. To this day, I still have no idea what the hell happened. I was about 6 or so. We were walking to school, me and my older sister. And it was when we were living in Iowa City, so it was a relatively safe neighborhood and whatnot. But we were taught, like all kids are taught, don't approach strangers, don't do this, don't do that. Anyway, so we're walking to school, and we start hearing somebody screaming for help, and we look over, and there's this little old lady that had fallen down her stairs beside her house. Blood coming out of her head. She's reaching out for help. She's like, help, help, help. But we were told never to approach strangers. So we just kept going. After school, we tried to tell our teachers, but, that we're kids. Teachers like, yeah, sure. I'm sure everything's fine. Anyway, after school, so we wanted to go back and, just walk by and see if she was okay, or see if she's still sitting there, because we were young. We didn't know if maybe nobody did help her, and maybe she's just lying there. So we go back and we go down that block, and this is the part where people are going to say no way, but honest to God, this is what happened. I swear to Primus. The house is gone. There is no house there. The two adjacent houses are there, but there's just a grass field where the house was. Like, no foundation, no nothing. It was a full house, but it's just gone. And it freaked the hell out of us. We ran home, and it's like weeks and weeks and weeks after that, we kept walking by that same vacant lot, just kind of like looking and just trying to see what was going on. We walked into the grassy field, we were trying to see if maybe there's something hidden in the grass, or something, but it was gone, and it freaked the hell out of us. So yeah, that's my scary story. I have other scary stories where it's things like, I've been chased off the mountain by a mountain lion, which was more of a, like, oh my God, things are things are bad. But this one takes the cake, because it's like, I don't even know what I don't know what would have happened if we went to go help this lady. I don't know. It's possible that we went down the wrong block, but we walked the same route every single day to school. So it doesn't compute, is what it does. Okay. All right, moving on. Joseph Flanagan, I have 2 questions. 1, if you had any chance to make or remake any one Transformer, Combiners 2, in a full-blown, better than MP class toys, who would it be and why? I would have to go with, and I'm going to get some shit for this one, but I'm going to go with Predacons. And the reason for that is that when it comes to the G1 aesthetics, Unique Toys nailed it the best in all modes. But we all know the Unique Toys version of that that combiner wasn't very good. TFC was way off point, and MMC, while they're doing such updated looks, and you get the vibe of the G1 feel, but you don't get the G1 figures. So that's the one I'd have to say. Them or the aerial bots would be really good. Oh, and the cone heads. The cone head seekers. Those are my top 3 picks right there. I would love to remake and retool a new Fort Max, but I know it's an impossibility. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Fort Max was, he came in so short in the show. I know he went on in the Japanese series, but I've never seen those. So, he was so short. He's just so unimportant to me. Let's see, okay, 2. What Transformers line would you like to reissue and expand on? Beast Wars. I would love to get, maybe not expand on, but I would love to get new molds for pretty much all the figures in the Beast Wars line, and put into the appropriate scale. Like Rat Trap, the Generations Rat Trap, which was a deluxe class, as cool as he is, I personally would prefer him in more of like a legend scale. Stuff like that. I would like it if Black Arachne and Tarantulas had different molds. I would like Cheetor and Tigertron, while having the exact same design, to have slightly different size scale, and on and on and on. But yeah, ultimately that's the one I would pick as my top thing I would love to see redone. All right. TFU Smokey 102 says, do you expect the future Transformers shows to be obvious toy commercials, or will they ever be like Prime again? That's a tough one, because obviously, it's for selling toys. The Combiner Wars show that's coming on, I'm not gonna hold my breath that it's gonna be worth anything. The RIDs, it's no. We'll probably get something like Prime again at some point, because Beast Wars is closer to Prime. Beast Machines is darker than Prime. Prime by far is the best show that they've ever put out. I'm sorry, all the G1 fans, but it's like, yeah, the G1 cartoon was awesome. It gave the ideas, but Prime just kind of, it was just better. The story arcs and all that stuff. So I'm sure we will get something like that again. It might be a while before they go down that road again. I hope so. And I hope that if they do, the toys will come out and be good and not half-assed like Primes were. Ultron T says, if you were a Transformer, what would you turn into? Tank? Or jet? No, tank. I like the idea of being able to mow things down. Are there any characters in Transformers that you would like to see reimagined? There's not much more to do that hasn't been done already. Mostly it's just doing it in the right scales. Seacons. The Seacons. I would love to see some new Seacons. Especially Snaptrap. I love Snaptrap. Let's see. If you were going to make a Transformers cartoon, how would you do it? Well, I'd focus on the story and not the toys, like IDW did until recently. And I would focus on, and this would probably mean that it wouldn't get watched that much, but I would try and focus on a whole new cast of characters, ones that haven't been done before. Make them up as I go along. The Prime versus Megatron, it's been done. G1, then G1, and then it was done a couple times in G1. Every time you thought it was over, you know, they came back. And then Beast Wars, essentially. Then Beast Machines. Then RID. Then Armada. Energon. Cybertron. Animated. The live action movies. The Prime. And now the new RID. Because even though they said Megatron and Optimus wouldn't be in the show, I believe they've been in the show. So, yeah, that's... You know, I would try and get a new cast of characters. Maybe do it as a sub-story of another main line, like what was going on in Cybertron during G1. And then every now and then you can have the cast from G1 do a cameo in it. You know, something like that. You know, guest starring Optimus Prime this episode. You know, something like that would be kind of cool. I would like to see that. It'd be different. You know, something we haven't had before. New characters, exciting new characters and stuff like that. Let's see here. And I'd probably try and cut the humans out. Let's see. Which figure that you own is the most well made? MP10. Your videos are awesome. Your channel is awesome, and you're awesome. Thank you, sir. You are awesome. Lionel Medina. Oh, he's got a few. Okay. Hey, John. I just had a few questions for you. 1. What figure would you like to see in the upcoming Titan Wars line, and also new MPs? Any MP Decepticons that we haven't gotten yet. I'm tired of seeing Autobot after Autobot after Autobot after Autobot after Autobot after Autobot after Autobot. It's getting really old. Yeah, MP Decepticons are kind of a rare breed. I mean, let's look at the official MP Decepticons and molds that we've gotten. We got Soundwave. Okay, and all the cassettes. I count those all as Soundwave. We got the MP Seeker mold, repainted 1,000 times. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all of them. That two. Think about that. 2 official MP Decepticons. Yeah, MP5 doesn't count because it's in the older scale. But 2. I want more Decepticons. I am sick and tired of Autobots. Okay, we're getting Ironhide. Yay. Okay, we get Ironhide. Yay. That means we get Ratchet. You know, we get one of the Datsun cars, and then we get, you know, 3 Datsun cars, and then we get repaints of those Datsun cars. And then we get you know, the Lamborghinis, and then we get all the repaints of the Lamborghinis. You know, on and on and on. And, you know, we got tracks, and then we're going to get the red tracks. I don't count exhaust and stuff like that as official MP Decepticons, because they're just trying to squeeze out whatever repaints they can. It's not what I'm looking for. I want official MP Insecticons. I want official MP Devastator. I want official MP Reflector. I want official MP Shockwave, Blitzwing, Astrotrain, Coneheads. You know, there's so many Decepticons, and Takara is just, meh, we won't do. The hell, we even got Starsaber before we got a fucking official Megatron. Fuck you, Takara. Anyway, as far as Titan Wars go, Triptychon. I want a Triptychon. And I would love a Scorponok. Those are the 2 biggest ones that need to be voids that need to be filled. 2. Who is your favorite Autobot Decepticon? Autobot, Rodimus, and Decepticon Galvatron. Do you still collect G1 figures? I never really, I mean, while I always picked up every G1 figure I could always find back in the day, I've never really collected them. I've collected what's modern. So no, and with the modern figures that are coming out, you know, most of the time they're better design than the original figures. I mean, hell, look at Ironhide. The original Ironhide who didn't even have a head. He just had a windshield. Stuff like that makes me like, I really don't want to pick them up. And yeah, they look great in alt mode, but robot mode, some of them are kind of trash. And I know that's blasphemy, but we could do better. And yeah, I just don't want to spend all my money trying to track down the G1 figures and then be disappointed with them. Nostalgic aside, the figures themselves aren't the best designs, so I'd rather get a more modern take on it. Aside from Combiner Wars. Anyway, okay. 4. What advice would you give another like me who's considering collecting G1 or third parties for the first time? Well, start off small. Don't jump right into like the Fans Toys Dinobots, because you're going to spend a fortune on them. $200 a piece. That's a lot to invest in a figure. If you're going with MPs, start off with MP Prime, the MP10 mold. That's something that you will get and you will be infinitely satisfied with. If you're looking more in Chug line, then definitely, look into getting like the Takara repaints of any of the Chug figures, because like Big Bad Toy Store has them there, like the Ironhide. There's an Ironhide 3-pack and then a Ratchet 3-pack. Those will get you going, and they're pretty decently priced for the figures inside. They're like $100 for a 3-pack, so that's not too bad. And then maybe right now is a great time to jump on, like, if you want to get like a TFC Hercules, because I got mine for $150 and I got 2. So I've seen them going for under $300. And that was a $600 figure when it first came out. So, check into that. All right. What do you think about KO Transformers in general, and those such as Babe and White MP10? Okay, so KOs and me have a interesting path, because I have collected KOs. And sometimes the KOs are not bad. Like the KOs of the MP Nissans. Those are actually pretty good figures. Now, the KO of the Lamborghinis, not so good. So I would stay away from them. As far as the KO MP10 mold, the thing you have to remember is some of them are going from $100 to $150, brand new. And, that's a pretty hefty price tag when the official one's about $180, and it comes with a trailer. These KOs don't come with trailers. They're just the Prime figure. So that's I wouldn't get any of them. There's no reason, a white MP10. It's like, okay, there's an Ultra Magnus masterpiece out there. There's the Citizen Stack from KFC, which is just over $100 right now because nobody wants it. So there's definitely options there that won't rely on you getting KOs. KOs are fun when you do stuff like, you're at the Big Lots or a Dollar General and you happen to see G1 Seeker molds and they're KOs and they're a couple bucks. When it's that cheap, then it's, pick them up. You're going to have some fun with them. They're going to break and then you're going to be done. Throw them away and you go, okay, that was fun. Stuff like that. You don't get them to collect them for the most part, because some of them you're really just not going to save enough money to make it worthwhile. For example, the Sideswipe. The KO Sideswipe is garbage in compared to the real one. So I can't sit here and say he's a good figure and a good option. If you're going to start in a collection, I would highly recommend getting the real thing. The Nissans, you could get away with getting some KOs of the Nissans, but the Sideswipe, no. Things like that. And also, sometimes you'll find like a KO aerial bot set for $5.99 at Walgreens, and same with like Defensor, Bruticus, Devastator, and I think that's it. Minosaur. You can find those for like $5.99 in a box set. The plastic quality is not great. It's not terrible, but it's kind of fun. It itches that nostalgic itch that you get sometimes from looking at old toys. You buy them, and like I said, they're gonna break on you. You just have some fun with them, and then let them die. Okay, moving on. Also, I just wanted to mention that today, 8/9/25, I got Combiner Wars Devastator price matched for $150. Do you think I should get all the upgrades, or should I have waited for the Takara release? Or should I have gone the third-party route? I was just wondering what your thoughts were as far as the best option. Thanks for answering my questions. Okay, so as far as the Takara version goes, it's more money, but it's definitely more posable and with better paint apps and such. Is it worth the wait? That's kind of your call. Now, as far as the upgrades go, you've got to really sit down and look at how much you've spent, how much you're going to spend to make it look good, and fix all those things, and then weigh that against what a third-party Devastator would cost. For example, Giant, which would scale better with the Combiner Wars combiners rather than the actual Combiner Wars Devastator does. Brand new, he's going for about $400. So if you spend $150 on the Devastator, and then you spend another $150 on some upgrades, and then another $100 or so on the Doctor Wu Mixmaster, you could have gotten a third-party Devastator for that. You could find a Hercules for under $300. It might take some doing, but you can find one. And if you can find one for under $300, then that's infinitely better than what Combiner Wars is going to put out. So yeah, just keep an eye out on stuff like that. Before you go crazy on the upgrades, make sure that your money is going to be well spent. I hear the Devastator is good, but not great. And I hear that, the upgrades are going to improve them, but it will get to the point where you're going to sit there and question, how much money did I spend, or how much money could I spend on a third-party figure that didn't need upgrade kits to begin with? Thanks for answering my questions. No problem. 7TGM23 says, what do you think of the new darker/adult Transformer series based on Combiner Wars? I don't think about it, honestly, because it's going to be made by some people that are in charge of YouTube channels and stuff, from what I heard. So it's not like a real show. They're going to try and make it like a real show, but I'm really not holding my breath on it. And Hasbro is notorious, like, oh, that was a puppy, we're pulling the plug right now. So I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, this is gonna be great. Now, if like the History Channel or HBO or what's the channel? AMC. If one of them were to sit there and say, oh yeah, we're making a Transformers show based on G1 or Combiner Wars, then I'd be like, oh, this is going to be good, because they have a budget and they actually care about their product. Whereas this thing, I don't know. We'll see. Okay. Day Scott. Is Combiner Wars Minosaur worth hunting down, or should I try and get Intimidator? Oh, there's a good question. I found him the full set for about $55. So depends on what you're looking to do, because it goes into what I was saying before. If you're gonna get him and then you're wanting to have him in Minosaur mode, and then you're gonna buy all these upgrade kits for him, then you're gonna spend enough money that you could have bought Intimidator. Now, Intimidator is a horrible Transformer because of how he transforms. He's super fidgety. Lots of parts have to bend that don't have joints, so you're bending plastic to move things out. So be wary of that if you get him. Now, if you're going to put him in display mode and just bot mode, then this is this is going to be fine. This is fine for me. Until a real third-party company comes out and puts out a real Minosaur. He's just a placeholder, and I'm not going to buy Intimidator again. I think I've had him 3 times now. And he doesn't get any more fun. So yeah, if you can get the Combiner Wars Minosaur for good price, talking retail value, and not buy the upgrade kits, then you're going to be just fine. That's the route I'd probably go with. Also, are you going to review the hip ratchet replacement for Motormaster? No, because I did a repair bay on how to fix the hips without buying an upgrade kit for it. You just open up the thighs and you flip the ratchet around and you put it back together and it holds just fine, but it doesn't have the ratchet, so it's just a unratcheted universal joint at this point. And then he poses just fine, he holds just fine. I have no problem with it. So no, I probably won't be doing that. Combiner Wars Superion or Defensor? Superion was the better one. Defensor is pretty cool. He's getting some heat lately, but I liked him. He was a fun toy. Not a collectible. Toy. Lastly, are the Perfect Effects hands and feet good, or is it different third party have hands and feet? Or is a different third party have hands and feet? They're good kits. Don't get me wrong. They do add some height and some a little bit more depth to the characters. The turning into gun gimmicks was kind of stupid. I think they could have sold those things for a lot cheaper if they took that gimmick out and just had big feet and big hands. And I think that would have been better. It's one of those, like, it goes back into, do you really want to invest into these figures more? And that's one of the reasons why I originally just gave up on Combiner Wars. I'm rebuying everything now, but I'm trying to stay clear of buying all these upgrade kits for figures when you can buy the original or buy a third-party version and be just fine. So that's something to think about too. Just kind of remember you're not really, you don't want to spend too much money on the crap. There's not too much you can do with it. So yeah, there you go. There is the Rant of the Week questions answered. If anybody puts new questions on, I'll just try and text them. And tomorrow there will be no Rant of the Week. Instead, we're going to do another unboxing of Marvel Legends figures, which I actually already did yesterday. Recorded it yesterday, and it's going to post up tomorrow. So yeah, I guess there you go.